Today, I'm going to show you how to make leeks braised in white wine, cream, and a little bit of butter. So I saw this recipe on Instagram. I can't remember who posted it, so if you guys know, tag them down below or let me know. I want to see how close I got it, but I'm kind of doing this from memory. But you're going to need leeks. I wish I had slightly bigger ones, but these are what my store had. But we're going to cut most of the top off. You can leave a little bit of the green. Cut the bottoms off. Get that first layer peeled off so you get all the dirt. And then we're going to cut them into kind of 1-inch pieces. A little thicker would have been better, or if you have larger ones, you can maybe do 1.5 inches. But cut up all of them that way. And then we're going to throw these into a bowl, rinse them, kind of agitate them around, let them soak for 5-10 minutes just to get all that extra dirt out. And then we're going to kind of butter up a baking dish that's big enough for the amount of leeks you have. Kind of figure that out beforehand, measure it out. And now we're going to make a sauce to pour over these and braise them in. This sauce is going to be super easy. You're going to start with a little bit of butter in a pan, about 2 tablespoons worth. Once that starts to melt, we're going to add anchovy paste. If you have actual anchovies, you can use those in substitute. That's totally fine. Once you get that nice and mixed together, we're going to add probably 1/4 cup here of a nice dry white wine. You can add a little more if you want. Let that come up to a boil, burn off some of its alcohol, and then we're going to add in a splash of heavy cream. We're going to season that up shortly also, but we're going to start with some lemon zest from 1 full lemon, and then hit it with some salt and some white pepper. Bring that up to a boil, let it reduce for maybe 1-2 minutes, and now we're going to pour that into this tray. First, line it with all of your leek pieces. Try to get it in as tight as you can. They're going to reduce in size over time, so they're going to fall over. It's going to be a mess anyway. Totally fine. Top it with a little bit of butter, put some salt over the top as well. Pour in that braising liquid, and then we're going to cover these in tin foil and throw them into the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes, but we're going to check on them in 30 minutes. Here we are, 30 minutes in. I'm going to take the foil off and just check on these quickly. It's starting to bubble kind of around the outside, so that's perfect. The leeks are softening a little bit. I'm going to throw in 1 or 2 bay leaves here that I forgot to add earlier in the recipe, and then just cover that up and cook it for another 15 minutes. Here we are at the end of that 15 minutes. Everything looks exactly how I want it. So we're going to now throw this back in the oven, turn it up to 415 degrees or 425, and let this cook for another 30-45 minutes. I'm just going to stand them all up first, kind of braise them, pour some of that liquid back over the top, and now we're going to throw that back in the oven. Now here we are at the end of that 45 minutes. You can see they got nice and brown on the tops. If that wasn't happening in your oven, either move it higher up or throw it under the broiler for a second. But we're going to let this cool down now for 5 or 10 minutes just so they're a little more palatable. When you eat them, they'll soak up some of that sauce also. We're going to just throw these over some bread. Honestly, you could do whatever you want with them. They're a very simple, easy appetizer. Toast the bread if you want. I didn't feel like doing that tonight. I wanted it kind of soft so it would soak up that sauce very nicely. I'm going to cut that leek in half and just throw it on the piece of bread. And let's dive in and give this a taste. Prefacing this with, I'm not a huge leek fan, but it was okay. These weren't anything crazy to me. If you like leeks or you're a huge fan of the flavor of leeks, I think you're really going to love this. I tried to do something out of my comfort zone here. Didn't really love it, but if you like leeks, you might.